In a night of joy and heartbreak, Japan won a nail-biting penalty shootout against the U.S. to win the Women's World Cup in Germany. Japan were perhaps the sentimental favorites after the tsunami of last March, and the victory has certainly helped rally the nation. Paula Hancocks is in Tokyo, and CNN Zain Verjee is in Frankfurt and saw the finals last night. Let's start with you, Zain. How was it?
It was absolutely electric, Monita. I don't have any nails left because it was nail-biting. I was on the edge of my seat. It was incredible. The U.S. started off very, very aggressive. They could have scored in the first minute of the match, but they weren't able to do it. They had so many opportunities in the first half, but they just kept missing them over and over again until the 68th minute, where the substitute, who was the youngest player on the team at 22 years old, Alex Morgan, just managed to kick it in beautifully. Then minutes later, the Americans made a big mistake, a miscommunication on their defense line, and the Japanese scored. Then in extra time, the Americans came back again with an amazing header by U.S. striker Abby Wambach. And then everyone thought that was it. The match is a few minutes left of extra time, but it wasn't. The Japanese fought back, and Captain Sawa knocked one back in, and the U.S. and Japan had to fight it out on penalties. The U.S. was expected to do really well on penalties because they got every single one in and showed a lot of coolness and confidence against Brazil when they had to do that, but they didn't manage to do it this time around. They missed the first three, and the Japanese took it away. When I was watching the game, the U.S. did come off as the stronger team at the beginning. The Japanese seemed a little bit nervous, and they weren't really able to unlock their game until after they scored the first goal, and then it was really a match. They were the sentimental favorites. I just spoke to someone on the Japanese team who's at the airport right now in Frankfurt. They're really excited to go back to Tokyo. They don't know what they're going to expect there because they've never had this much attention. They're saying that this is such a dream. Monita?
Well, Zain, let's take our viewers now to Tokyo, where we find our Paula Hancocks. And Paula, one can only assume that they will get a hero's welcome there.
That's right, Monita. We are expecting an almighty homecoming for this victorious team. Now, as Zain said, they've not had this kind of attention before. They're really not expecting or not knowing what to expect when they get back here in Tokyo. I have some idea of what they should expect. I think it's going to be absolutely crazy. We're heading to the airport for their homecoming at the crack of dawn tomorrow. I'm pretty sure we're not going to be the only ones. I think there will be a lot of people there to welcome them home. Now, the whole nation is now behind this team, the team that most people had never even heard of before. They'd never watched women's football before, and now the entire nation is behind them. Everyone I've spoken to is very excited. They said that this is the boost that, let's face it, Japan was overdue. They have had a devastating earthquake, a tsunami, and the nuclear issues are still ongoing. They needed some good news, and they needed some inspiration, which they found in this team. Now, the team captain, who's actually, this is her 5th World Cup, the first Japan has won, said that this is a dream when she was asked at the airport in Frankfurt. They're on their way home now. Local media is actually reporting that the champions are flying economy class. They flew over to Frankfurt economy class. They may be trying to upgrade now that they are the best in the world, but we'll have to check up on that. So they'll be arriving here on Tuesday morning, local time, very early in the morning. They'll have a press conference as well. But it really was an incredible night. There was huge excitement, a little bit of sleep deprivation as it didn't finish till 7 o'clock on a Monday morning, and a little bit of tipsiness. There were champagne corks popping at 7 a.m. on a Monday morning. There's not many times where you can actually get away with that and not be judged for it, but certainly everyone was in very exciting form and everyone was absolutely delighted. Monita?
Well, I'm almost adamant for them. They should be bumped up to first class for all that they've done for their country. And hopefully that's what's happened. Paula, thank you so much for that. Paula Hancocks there in Tokyo, and Zain Verjee in Frankfurt. Thank you very much for you both and for your coverage there. You are